the CTO of Lighthouse AI. Lighthouse automates the back office work for freight and factoring companies. It automates the work of account payables and account receivables for the freight, mostly focusing on freight brokers and the factoring companies. In freight, we have to deal with, the companies have to deal with a lot of messy unstructured data, the bill of lading, the rate confirmation, the proof of delivery, and it's just comes in huge volume, and it is very difficult to interpret. It takes a lot of time, lots of human time, and literally, like, AI is at such a stage that you can actually give all this boring, everyday, repetitive work to AI, and that is what Lighthouse AI agents are doing. We are automating this boring task. You just hook up your email to Lighthouse AI, and that would classify your emails into whether it is an invoice or not, and if it is an invoice, and if it is a document that it has received from the carriers, then it would just parse that information, it would audit that information, it would verify that information, and it would also upload that information to the TMS or the FMS. The TMS is the transport management system, or FMS is the factory management system, and it would complete your end-to-end task. So while you are sleeping, AI is doing the work. So that is what we are building at Lighthouse AI.
I've been in the AI space for 2 years, and my work in AI really centers around supporting researchers, whether those be graduate students who are learning research for the first time, or seasoned academic researchers such as faculty who are writing grants and working on the next innovation in healthcare or climate change. And what we do at Moxie, which is my AI company, is we develop tools that help them work through really important problems they're trying to solve to meet the needs of society. We are part educational, part technology, meaning that we help them navigate this new AI landscape so that they can leverage artificial intelligence technology ethically and responsibly. One of our concerns at Moxie is around the spread of misinformation. And in science, where the stakes are high, we need to make sure that researchers are leveraging this technology in a way that's going to help them with advancements in science and not hinder their work. Artificial intelligence, the basic definition, I think of it as an umbrella term. It just involves any type of computer or machine that can complete a task that we would typically only expect a human to be able to do. So think about generating text, writing a poem or an essay, or recognizing speech, or producing an image. These are tasks we would typically only expect humans to do, but when a machine can do it, we call it artificial intelligence.
AI is one of the most powerful tools that humans have built to extend human capabilities. And really, at its core, AI is actually models, codes, mathematics, and it's extracting information from huge amount of data and making sense of it. And you can actually direct AI to complete all your boring, mundane tasks, and it will do exactly as you ask it to be. AI is helping humans to take better decisions every single day. And it's not just a technical revolution. It's actually like the definition. We are actually extending its definition every single day by the leaders who are leading AI.
When I think of how early sci-fi has influenced our perceptions of what AI is, I'm reminded of these sort of dual perspectives where you have robots that very much seem to be human. They're very human-like. And then I think about some specific examples around specifically this dual perspective of AI being this helpful robot that helps us complete tasks in our home, like Rosie the robot on the Jetsons. But then I also think about these really scary perspectives around AI, taking over the world. And I think of what happened in A Space Odyssey, where you have AI really positioned as this bad actor that destroys humanity. The reality is somewhere in between. It's not binary as AI being good or bad, but certainly those early, sci-fi movies have definitely influenced the public's perception of what AI will be, when in reality, it's not just this one thing like a robot or a bad actor. It's actually behind the scenes and embedded in so many aspects of our lives. So sci-fi didn't really prepare us for the reality of what we're seeing today. Where we are now with artificial intelligence in terms of how it's evolved from this idea that we used to see in cartoons like the Jetsons to present day is pretty amazing. I mean, I remember being a child watching the Jetsons, and it was very futuristic. It felt like something like going to the moon. But now that it's here, it's incredible. I remember the moment when I first used like ChatGPT, which is what most people think of when they think of AI. And I could have never imagined where we are today. And when you think of just the timeline, the history and the evolution of technology itself is typically measured in spans of decades. But where we've seen AI evolve just in the past couple of years just completely blows my mind. I don't think we could have really realized, especially within my generation, that we would be where we are today.
I remember my favorite movie back in those days was Terminator, like when Terminator comes from the future, and I was in awe to see the movie. I was in awe to see, maybe like in future we will have these robots. In future we will have these kind of humanoids who can actually do multiple tasks and help humans. So that's what instilled curiosity in the little girl in me at that time. And of course, that's how early science fiction contributed to the society. Like, we could not imagine the society without thinking ourselves in it, like without thinking what it is to have consciousness in a machine, or what it is to have give freedom to a machine, or what it is to have an emotionally intelligent machine. So yeah, that's what early science fiction got, and that's why early science fiction were mostly had human-like traits. Science fiction kind of painted a picture where we thought AI, when the AI rise would come, it would be lots of robots running in the street, and lots of humanoids that are in our house taking orders in restaurants and stuff like that. But actually, like ChatGPT, Siri, and Alexa, they are they got one thing right. Like right now, ChatGPT, Siri, Alexa were like conversational. They're context aware, and that's the commonality. But it's nowhere like a humanoid kind of thing. It's just either in a device or an API form or a chat-based interface where you can actually converse with them either through voice or through text, and that's the difference of what science fiction imagined like many years ago and what we have right now. When I was a little kid, I literally wanted a toy with whom I can converse, and it would give me answer in what I would converse. It will literally give me answer about everything. It would be my friend. I am living in that era where there are so many, my mobile phone, my Google Home, Alexa, everything I can converse. And with generative AI, with ChatGPT, you can actually write prompts, or you can write the task in natural language, and it will actually solve that for you. Let's say you are working in a weather division and you want to build a report in like 5 minutes. How would you do that? You would you can take help of AI right now, and you can say that, okay, download the data from the website, from the NASA website, and then compile the data, and then take this data and analyze this data and make a report. This is a complex task, but AI can now do that task in like seconds, in like minutes. So that is how AI has changed. That is how AI has changed the real world. And it has helped researchers, it has helped scientists, it has helped tech people like me, and it has helped startups. It is helping children. Like right now, children can actually write simple prompts. Let's say kids who want to learn coding these days, and they can ask ChatGPT, okay, write a simple or a structured way of how I would start learning Python for a beginner stage, and it would give you exact step-by-step way on how you would learn coding. And that, imagine, like, this was not possible 5-6 years ago, and now it is possible. You just have to write the commands in the way that you speak, and it will teach you coding, and that's how you can learn coding and stuff. So AI has literally changed the way that we used to do our everyday, day-to-day work, studies, everything. So there are 3 types of AI. One is narrow AI. What that means is, if you train AI to perform certain tasks by giving it lots of data, training it on lots of data, fine-tuning it to what exact task you want to perform, and it will perform that. And the second type is the general AI, and that is actually very close to what human intelligence is. It can adapt to different types, it can do different tasks just like a human would do, just like a human would think, and it can do reasoning, it can do strategic works, it can do thinking. So that is general AI, and we are not even close to that. The third one is the super AI, and what that means is AI surpassing the human intelligence. Like, it can do things that humans have not asked it to do. It can take decisions that can override human instructions. So that is super AI, and of course that is a concept of way ahead in the future.
AI is being integrated into so many aspects of our lives in ways that you might not realize. One example is, like, I have a Nest thermostat, and it understands my preferences. So it knows what temperature I like at night when I go to bed, what the temperature I prefer during the day when I'm working. So it learns from those preferences, and it can also help me save money on the cost associated with heating and cooling my home. There's also like Ring doorbell, which is advanced because of AI, where it can differentiate between objects in the environment, say, for example, a human or a dog, and it can alert you when there's those disturbances in the environment. Ring doorbell has been around for a while, but those are some new features that have come about because of AI and its ability to read images and videos in the environment. Also think about what's happening in work. Like, I come from a healthcare background, and I get excited when I learn about these new advancements in healthcare, such as the use of AI to discover new drugs and new treatments for rare diseases. I also come from a small rural farming community, and so the way that AI is being used to help farmers predict crop yields and study weather patterns. We also think about finance, how AI is being used to help your financial advisor better manage your financial portfolio based on historical trends in the stock market.
One thing that pop culture got it right was the ubiquity of AI. AI is everywhere. Even if you realize it or even if you do not realize it, AI is actually everywhere. your cell phones, your inbox. You hold a camera at your face and it can recognize whether you are smiling. If you're looking at a dog, it can recognize that it's a dog. And you can literally go to your inbox these days and you can type, find all the photos of me in 2003 wearing blue dress, and it will really do that. That's how we are conversing with AI every day without it having a human-like feature. So, and what it did get wrong was it thought maybe it would be like rise of robots, humanoids, and stuff like that. But it's actually the subtlety that it got wrong. It's there. It's just that we cannot see it. It's just like electricity. We cannot see it, but it's there. It's a part of our everyday life, and it's helping us take better decisions. It's helping us making our life better.
AI is also being used in ways that we're not aware of, very much behind the scenes. Like when you use Google Maps and it's making predictions about the fastest route. Like John Deere is using AI to predict crop yields and study weather patterns, or Netflix and Spotify are tracking your preferences to serve you your next favorite movie or a song. These are examples of how AI is working behind the scenes that most people are not thinking about. If you're interested in learning more about AI, my biggest piece of advice is to go out into the world and connect with people in different fields and learn about what is happening within their industry, how they're leveraging it. And it needs to be a continuous path of learning because of how quickly this technology is evolving. So don't just rely on what you're finding on the internet, because a lot of times the internet is going to give you more of the same. Instead, explore different perspectives, talk to people in your community. What I love most about my experience learning about AI is how interdisciplinary it is. My perspectives are shaped by physicists, computer scientists, philosophers, business professors, healthcare professionals, because it is touching every single industry. And the best way to learn is to go out and talk to people in those industries and just continue that path of exploration.
There are a lot of conferences, there are a lot of AI meetups, and there are a lot of hackathons that you can go, and there are a lot of webinars where you can go and just talk to people what they are building, in what space they are working, in what sectors they are implementing AI, and what precautions they are taking, what problems they are facing. Because if we want to see how it is affecting different sectors, how it is affecting our lives, everyday lives, then we have to go out there and talk to people and interact with people in webinars, conferences, to know exactly where AI is going, where we are actually headed to, and how we can be responsible consumers or responsible leaders of AI.
Today we are at Women and AI Futures. This has been a week long. We're smack dab in the middle here of the week, and it's all about activations, learning, connection, connectivity, and helping women and our allies, so there are men here as well, to just get a better understanding of artificial intelligence, to also, whether it be upskilling, and today specifically is for our C-suite community. So this is the futures part of our mission. What's happening? How are they using it in their organizations? Especially if you're someone in leadership, you're trying to figure out, well, what technology do I need to be looking at? Should we be using AI agents? Do we need to be looking at quantum computing? So we're having those conversations, and we're here, and I cannot keep talking without saying we are in Atlanta Tech Village. This is the 4th largest tech hub in the United States, not Georgia, but in the United States. So for us to be here on our anniversary for She Learns AI is a huge deal.
So today we have brought a lot of corporate innovators, brand leaders, and AI consultants together to really talk about how is AI impacting innovation space, corporate development of employees, how people go to market in new ways. So we're excited to learn about how big brands are also using AI to forward their business outcomes. Remember, when you start learning AI, that you already have a body of work and vast experience throughout your career. And so don't leave that behind when you're starting to learn AI, because AI needs all the context you have, all of your expertise, in order to be really effective at helping you accelerate whatever it is you're doing. So I always like to say, talk to AI as if it's your junior team member, because it's going to learn from you and you're going to teach it how to show up.
When you look at the fact that companies, people, we as a human race need to figure out, okay, how do we keep pace with this technology? That it's important, that's where training comes in. And that's why we have Women in AI Futures. That's why we're doing the work that we're doing. And then also recognizing that it's important to have our voices at the table. So whether that be we're speaking to women, we're speaking to those with accessibility needs, that if we're not, because it's learning on our data. So historically, that's the data that it's using right now. So if we're not using the tools, if we're not having our voice in policy and advocacy, we're going to see history repeat itself just using technology. So that's why we need to make sure that we have everyone at the table.
I am most hopeful about AI in terms of leveling the playing field and giving everyone access to high quality services, whether that be healthcare services, educational services, legal services. So using it to really solve the world's toughest problems while also helping the average person achieve things that before would not have been possible without significant financial investment or education.
AI is going to stay, and AI is not just a technical revolution, but it is actually how we used to imagine like future would be, how we would define future, how we would think, okay, this is what I want to envision when I would grow up. This is what I want to become. Whether we are building AI or whether we are on the other side, whether we are consuming AI, we should do it responsibly.